and I'm will play in your face and your face over and over and over and over and over again, and she'll be like, watch what I'm about to do, watch what I'm about to say. This really likes to play games with me when I'm at my most vulnerable time.
Cardi B breaking down in tears as she slams her estranged husband Offset following their split.
A lot of people will have opinions of a life that they never lived.
The rapper jumping on Instagram Live to unload on her ex, calling him out and accusing him of treating her badly.
Or imagine the scene of absolute heartbreak as the cameras captured what many are calling the most raw and unfiltered moment of Cardi B's life, are circulating like wildfire that the Bronx Queen was seen in floods of tears completely unloading her soul.
Really like to play games with me when I'm at my most vulnerable time, when I'm not the most confident. He likes to play games with me because he knows I'm not an easy girl. He knows I'm in my house. He knows that I'm chilling. He knows I'm not doing the most. And I've really been sparing.
In a heated confrontation with Offset following their latest split, the glamour of the red carpet has been replaced by the gritty reality of a relationship pushed to the edge, and the whispers coming out of their inner circle are nothing short of shocking, are saying that this isn't just another temporary breakup, but a final stand where emotions ran high and the air was filled with accusations of betrayal that have left fans completely.
To the country, man. That Spaces the other day got spiraling and thinking. So please, boy, stop acting stupid. Don't play with me. Stop playing.
The next month, Offset confessed to making it all up.
You never know how life can take it. You never know.
Fast forward to December, fans noticed the pair stopped following each other on socials. After Cardi shared this cryptic message, you know when you just outgrow relationships. I'm tired of protecting people's feelings. I gotta put myself first. Days later, Cardi confirmed they did in fact call it quits.
I've been single for a minute now.
Stunned. We are diving deep into the alleged drama that has the world talking, from the tearful outbursts to the secret conversations that suggest the family was left divided in the wake of this explosive fallout. Get ready, because the details emerging from this supposed showdown are about to change everything you thought you knew about this power couple. Would you like me to continue with part 1 of the main body? The walls of their luxury mansion were reportedly shaking as the echoes of a love gone sour filled every corner of the house, and the staff could only watch in stunned silence as the drama reached a fever pitch. Reports are coming in that Cardi was seen pacing the floor with tears streaming down her face, her voice cracking with the kind of pain that only comes from years of deep investment and even deeper disappointment. The scene was described as a raw, emotional battlefield where the high-fashion lifestyle was stripped away to reveal a woman who was simply fed up with the cycle of hurt and broken promises. Witnesses claim that Offset stood there looking overwhelmed as Cardi allegedly unloaded every grievance she had been holding back since the very beginning of their relationship. She was supposedly screaming that she had given him her best years and her loyalty, while he had given her nothing but headlines and headaches. The reports suggest that she was waving her phone in the air, claiming she had receipts of new betrayals that were the final straw in their already fragile union. Fans are shocked by the level of intensity being described, because we have seen them fight before, but this time it felt like the air had been sucked out of the room. The accusations were flying fast and furious, with Cardi reportedly shouting about how she had protected his name in the press, while he was out here making her look like a fool in front of the whole world. The atmosphere was thick with the scent of expensive cigars and the bitter taste of regret as the couple allegedly traded insults that cut deeper than any lyric they had ever written. Sources say that Cardi's friends were trying to intervene, but she was in a zone of pure, unfiltered rage and sadness, refusing to let anyone stand in the way of her truth. She was reportedly telling him that her heart was not a playground and that she was tired of being the only one fighting for the family. The drama reportedly spilled out into the hallway, where more people were drawn into the conflict and the emotional stakes were visible to anyone within earshot. Offset was allegedly trying to defend himself, claiming that things weren't what they seemed, but Cardi wasn't having any of it, as she supposedly listed every time he had let her down when she needed him most. The tension was so high that it felt like the very foundation of their empire was crumbling in real time, with the weight of the split finally crashing down on both of them. Reports say that Cardi's emotional conflict was palpable as she struggled between the love she still felt and the respect she knew she deserved but was no longer receiving. It was a moment of pure vulnerability for a woman who is usually seen as the toughest person in the room, and the reports of her sobbing while confronting him have left the industry in a state of total disbelief. The inner circle was reportedly split, with some taking Cardi's side and others trying to play peacemaker, but the damage was allegedly too deep for simple words to fix. As the night went on, the reports suggest that the confrontation moved from the living room to the private studio, where things only got more intense as the memories of their collaborations and their life together were brought up as weapons in their verbal war. Every word spoken was a reminder of what they were losing, and the stakes for their children were a central part of the heartbreaking dialogue that was reportedly taking place. Cardi was allegedly heard saying that she didn't want her daughter to grow up thinking this was what love looks like, and that realization seemed to hit her harder than anything else. The reports of this showdown are painting a picture of a relationship that had reached its absolute limit, with no clear way back to the happiness they once shared. Would you like me to continue with part 2 of the main body? The reports suggest that as the confrontation moved into the more private quarters of the estate, the accusations took a sharp turn toward the future and the legacy they had built together over 7 tumultuous years. Cardi was allegedly heard screaming that she had sacrificed her own mental health to keep his reputation intact, while the rumors of his extracurricular activities continued to haunt her during her pregnancies. According to those who claim to have heard the fallout, she was pointing at the platinum plaques on the walls and shouting that none of it mattered if she couldn't even trust the person sitting across from her at the dinner table. The emotional stakes were reportedly at an all-time high because this wasn't just about a couple breaking up, it was about the dissolution of a brand that had defined a generation of hip-hop. Offset reportedly tried to steer the conversation toward their children, claiming that they needed to stay together for the sake of stability, but Cardi allegedly countered with a heartbreaking realization that staying in a broken home was worse than leaving one. She was supposedly in tears as she described the nights she spent alone, wondering if she was ever going to be enough for a man who seemed to always be looking for something else. The drama was amplified by the presence of family members who had reportedly arrived to try and de-escalate the situation, but ended up getting caught in the crossfire of accusations and long-standing resentments. Cardi's sister was reportedly seen in a heated exchange with one of Offset's cousins as the loyalty of their respective camps was put to the ultimate test. The reports paint a picture of a house divided by years of secrets and half-truths that were finally being dragged into the light of day. Fans are shocked because the details of this alleged unload are far more specific and painful than anything we have seen on a social media live stream. It is being reported that Cardi even brought up the financial strain that the constant legal battles and tax issues had put on their shared accounts, claiming that she was tired of being the one to clean up the messes left behind. The dialogue between them was reportedly raw and unfiltered, with Cardi saying things like, "I turned myself into a legend while you were busy turning yourself into a tabloid headline." This kind of high-stakes drama is exactly what has kept the world captivated by their story, but the alleged reports coming out now suggest that the entertainment value has been replaced by a very real and very deep sense of tragedy. People close to the situation say that the tears Cardi shed were not for the cameras, but for the loss of the dream she had fought so hard to protect. As the argument continued into the early hours of the morning, the exhaustion was reportedly visible on both of their faces, with the weight of the split finally settling in as a permanent reality rather than just another temporary break. The reports are suggesting that the betrayal felt by Cardi was not just about infidelity, but about a fundamental lack of support during her most vulnerable moments. She was reportedly unloading on him about how he was never there when the world was attacking her, and how she felt like she was fighting her battles alone, even while wearing his ring. The tension was reportedly so thick that it felt like the very air in the room was toxic, and the stories emerging from the staff suggest that several people were so uncomfortable that they left the premises entirely. It is a narrative of a power couple losing their power in the most public and painful way imaginable, and the reports of Cardi's tearful confrontation are serving as the final exclamation point on a story that many hoped would have a different ending. The emotional conflict was not just between husband and wife, but between two icons who were realizing that their time as a unit had reached its expiration date. Would you like me to continue with part 3 of the main body? The reports are shifting into even more dangerous territory as the night deepens because it is being whispered that the confrontation moved from personal grievances to a total breakdown of their shared professional world. Cardi was reportedly seen in tears as she demanded to know how they could ever go back to being a team when the trust had been completely shattered into a million pieces. Witnesses are claiming that she was unloading on Offset about how he allegedly only cares about the clout and the image while she is the one at home dealing with the emotional fallout of his supposed mistakes. The emotional conflict reached a boiling point when Cardi allegedly mentioned that she had been mourning the relationship long before she officially filed for divorce, claiming that her heart had been checked out for months while her mouth was still trying to say the right things. The stakes for their 3 children were reportedly the only thing keeping the conversation from turning into a physical departure, as Offset allegedly begged her to consider the stability of their home. But the stories coming out say that Cardi's response was a chilling reminder of her own worth, as she reportedly told him that she would rather be lonely on her own terms than lonely while sitting right next to him. The tension was reportedly so high that even the security detail was seen looking away in discomfort as the Queen of the Bronx poured out years of suppressed hurt and betrayal. The reports suggest that she was questioning every single move he had made in the last year, asking for the truth about the women who keep appearing in the blogs and the secret trips that never had a good explanation. Offset was allegedly caught in a loop of apologies that Cardi was no longer interested in hearing, with her reportedly saying that sorry is just a word that people use when they get caught, not when they are actually changing. Fans are currently divided, with some saying that she needs to leave for good to protect her peace, while others are hoping for one more miracle for the culture's favorite couple. But the reports of this specific teardown suggest that the damage might be beyond repair this time around, because Cardi was allegedly speaking in a way that felt like a final goodbye to the life they had known. The accusations were not just about cheating, but about a fundamental lack of respect for the empire they built together from the ground up. She was reportedly unloading on him about how she had to be the breadwinner, the mother, and the protector all at once, while he was allegedly out here living like a single man. The emotional weight of this supposed showdown is heavy because it feels like the end of an era for everyone who believed in their love story despite the odds. As the argument continued, sources say that Cardi's voice was heard cracking as she admitted that she didn't even recognize the woman she had become while trying to make him happy. The drama of the split is reportedly affecting everyone in their circle, with managers and assistants allegedly being forced to choose sides as the house is divided by a wall of silence and resentment. The reports are painting a picture of a relationship that has run out of runway, with no more room for excuses or second chances. The details of the dialogue are being described as a masterclass in heartbreak, with Cardi allegedly saying that she is tired of fighting for someone who won't even fight for himself. The climax of this alleged confrontation reportedly reached its peak when Cardi finally addressed the rumors of their impending legal war over their children and their massive shared assets. Reports claim that as the sun began to rise, her voice was nearly gone, but she continued to unload on Offset about how he had supposedly prioritized his own ego over the stability of their home. She was allegedly seen clutching her phone and scrolling through years of messages as she shouted that she was done being the main character in his drama, while he played a supporting role in her real life. The reports suggest that Offset finally went quiet as Cardi delivered what many are calling her final verdict on the relationship, saying that she had finally learned to love herself more than she loved the idea of them as a couple. Witnesses are whispering that she told him to pack his things and leave the estate immediately, declaring that the gates were officially closed on their 7-year journey. The emotional stakes were visible in every tear that fell as she allegedly told her security to ensure that the transition was as swift and silent as possible to protect the children from any more chaos. Sources say that the tension in the room was replaced by a heavy, hollow silence once the words were finally spoken out loud, and the weight of the split became an undeniable fact. Fans are reacting with a mixture of heartbreak and empowerment as the reports of Cardi's stand for her own mental health continue to dominate the headlines. It is being reported that the inner circle was left in a state of shock, with some members seen crying as they realized that the era of Cardi and Offset was truly drawing to a close. The stories coming out of the mansion suggest that Cardi spent the final moments of the encounter looking out the window at the city that raised her, as if reclaiming her identity as the solo force of nature she has always been. The reports paint a picture of a woman who has finally decided to stop mourning what could have been and start embracing what actually is, even if it means walking away from the person she once called her world. As the vehicles allegedly pulled away from the driveway, the rumors suggest that Cardi turned off her phone and retreated into a private space to begin the long process of healing from the betrayal and the public scrutiny. The drama of the last 24 hours has left the entire entertainment world gasping for air, as we wait to see if this really is the final chapter or if another twist is waiting just around the corner. What started as a night of raw emotion has allegedly ended in a firm decision that will change the landscape of hip-hop culture forever, and the reports of Cardi's strength in the face of such pain are already becoming the stuff of legend. Would you like me to finish the script with the conclusion and call to action? This entire situation feels like a movie, but the pain being reported is very real, and it leaves us all wondering if there is any way back from such a public and emotional collapse. We have watched Cardi and Offset go through the fire before, but these latest reports of tears and heated confrontations suggest that the bridge might finally be burned for good. It is a heartbreaking reminder that even the biggest stars are human at the end of the day, and that fame cannot protect you from the sting of betrayal or the weight of a broken heart. Do you think Cardi is making the right choice by finally walking away, or do you believe this power couple has one more reconciliation left in them? We want to hear your opinions on this massive split and how you think it will impact their children and their careers moving forward. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to our channel so you never miss a single update on this unfolding drama. Don't forget to turn on notifications to stay in the loop with every breaking report. Drop a comment below and let us know whose side you are on in this battle of the hearts.